Coach, some takeaways from Cancun.
Right. We had a great opportunity to spend a lot of time together, some good bonding for our group. Well, that was through the travel, through certainly spending time together during the week while we were there, our banquet, had a little dolphin excursion. Those bonding times are really important. Had a great opportunity to play against some teams that do a really good job of getting the ball inside and then spacing with shooters and attacking in different ways. And so that was really good for us. Great for us to see. Great for us, we can watch film all we want and say, hey, we need to do it this way, because when we play against teams that are really physical, they're going to be able to throw the ball inside. But then to actually see it happen, say, okay, now we completely understand. So I think those things are really good for us moving forward. We've got a lot to learn from that, how to battle through adversity. I think we look at right now, kind of the glaring thing for us is making shots. When you go back and you look on film at the quality of the shots that we're getting high quality shots. That's really important. So now we've got to feel comfortable enough and confident enough and have the ability to knock those down consistently. And we haven't demonstrated that at this point in time. We're doing some things that are within our control. We're taking care of the basketball. And sometimes that can be really hard to do when you're not making shots, because then you start forcing things. And right now we're doing a good job of being disciplined and taking care of the basketball. That's something that needs to continue for us.
How do you approach that through your career when you've had teams that get good looks and still make them?
Well, I think there are a number of different ways that you can go about doing it. The bottom line is players have to have the ability to do that, and I believe that we have the ability to do that. I've watched a lot of players put in a great deal of time. We may have shooting groups as a group, as a program, but then players come in and they'll shoot for 30 minutes before the shooting group to get warmed up so that they make shots and they feel really comfortable and confident. Over the course of my career, I think in 20 plus years, I've only probably coached one kid over the course of that time who didn't put a lot of time into being a great shooter, who still was a great shooter. She was a kid that every shot in practice, she made the most of every single shot and every single rep in practice. And you want everybody to do that, but she was somebody who locked into that. So I think there are a lot of different ways that players can go about getting themselves really comfortable and confident shooting the basketball.
So you got to get in the gym and do it, I guess.
Yeah, ultimately, we've got to do that. I think we've got to continue to, encourage taking care of the basketball and sharing the basketball and getting good in-rhythm shots. And I think we're creating a lot of those right now. Getting second-chance opportunities is something we need to continue working on because, we have those opportunities to do that. I think if you look right at statistics right now, you can say, boy, we're not doing as good of a job offensive rebounding. There's truth to that. We need to do a better job offensive rebounding. We need to do a better job defensive rebounding. It's kind of skewed a little bit because we've been able to force turnovers. And so our opponents have more opportunities to get rebounds than we do because we're forcing some turnovers. But, so we do have to do a better job rebounding on both ends.
You about where you think we're going to be coming into this season? A little ahead, or you a little behind after 5 games? Are you still trying to determine that?
Well, I think what's been really encouraging is that our players have a very strong hunger to be good. They continue to learn and grow. And I think when we watched film, we came back from Cancun and, we had Saturday as a travel day. Sunday was an off day. Yesterday we watched film and we could show specific film of how we have to either help better or how we have to get around in front of the post or how we have to do a better job in a ball screen defense coverage, because the bottom line is we can control some of those type of things. We can't always, I don't know, sometimes you just can't control. You have great shots, they look great, they feel great, they didn't go in, so we can't always control that, but we can control some of the other things. And our response to it yesterday was really, really good.
Play basketball and you tell players to do things and they do them, but there's an instinctive part of it where is that coming yet, or is that still a work in progress?
Well, they play with the instincts that they have, and I think a lot of those are really good. And within our system, I think that we're still working on that. And I think, again, watching film and learning, and honestly, we weren't set up to succeed right now to play, one of the top teams in the country with a very, very short turnaround. That we weren't set up to succeed. Things went against us in that scenario, and that's okay because the bottom line is that's going to help prepare us for the future, and so that's how we look at it, how we approach it. So can our players play with instinct at this point in time? It's hard to do that. We're 5 games in at this point in time.
What was the message to the team after the NC State game? And you said the response was good. In what ways was it good?
Well, again, I think our ability to watch the film and see it and then go back out and practice some of those scenarios and be better in those scenarios, it is something that our players show that they really care and they compete and they want to be really good. So understanding is really, really important. Message to them is, it's a long year. It's one game, and it's a great opportunity for us to learn and grow, and we've done that. I think what's been important is that in our 4 games up to that point in time, we go back and we watch film of our team afterwards, and we show areas we have to get better, and we've done that. And sometimes that can be, that certainly is easier to do, I think, sometimes when you look at it and you didn't win the game than when you did win the game, to be able to see it and say, okay, these are areas we've got to continue to grow and get better. And I think our players responded. So the message was, we've done this before, we've gotten better after games, now we need to go do it again.
You've got probably, a half dozen games less before your conference opener. What do you want to see from your team now before you open the conference?
Well, we certainly have to be a team that gets comfortable shooting the basketball. That's something that's really, I think, evident at this point in time. At the same time, we really, again, have to continue to take steps forward in the rebounding area. We do. We have to be a team that all 5 players have to find ways. We have this message. We have three kind of expectations in our program, but we also have 3 main kind of building blocks. And our 3 building blocks are toughness, togetherness, and a find-a-way mentality. And the example in find-a-way is it's easy if you've got a really big kid who's a great rebounder who gets a lot of rebounds for you. But if you're not that type of team, and right now we're not that type of team, then you know what? It may be this kid boxes out, this kid boxes out, this kid tips it, this kid tips it, this kid comes up with it. And so for us right now, we'd love to be able to just go get it ourselves individually, but it may mean that with being smaller, we've got to just work to keep kids off the glass, and then we've got to scramble to finish plays. And finishing plays is something that has to be a mainstay for us. And so that's an area we've got to continue to get better, and we have to find a way to do that.
Coach, what do you think of the way that JJ played in tournament action and really this first part of the season, and what are the next steps forward in terms of her individual progress?
But I thought JJ played at a very high level. I think JJ, and this is a challenge for us too, is that when things aren't going our way, JJ can create a lot for us on both ends of the court, right? She can create defensively by picking up and pressuring the basketball. She can create by getting to the rim. She's getting more and more comfortable and confident shooting the ball from the perimeter. She's right now, I think, our leading offensive rebounder, and she's someone that makes a lot of things happen for us. And so to be able to just, for her to trust that she can continue to play hard, play disciplined, stay out of foul trouble, all those things are going to be really important for us. But certainly I thought she played at a really, really high level. You see her now, I think, continuing to grow and become more comfortable and confident communicating and being a leader. And that's something that's really hard for a young lady to do, whether they're young in terms of a new program or young in terms of their age on the team. But she's growing in that way as well. And so she's someone that, I think she's someone that we're going to expect a lot out of, and she's someone that wants that and is someone who continues to learn and to grow and respond.
On the subject of rebounding, I imagine your guards are going to have to do a lot.
They are.
How do you approach that with them differently from how you would coach your post players in rebounding?
I don't think we really approach it differently. I think the importance for us is that we need to finish the play on the defensive end first. We're really able to attack in transition right now. We've been able to get out and make things happen, but we got to finish the play before we take off and try to make things happen in an open court. And so for us, the good news is it's something that we practice 5-on-0, the mentality of it, something that we practice in smaller breakdown drills. It's something that we practice in 5-on-5 scenarios, something that we continue to show and grow. And now we're hearing our players during practices communicating those things, and those all add up to have the value to understand the importance of finishing plays.
What makes JJ your best rebounder as a guard?
She's hard to box out. She really is. And so she's someone, and she wants the ball. I think ultimately, I remember back when I was in college still, and I was working a basketball camp in Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Coaches Scouting Service, and there are all these top high school coaches from across the state of Wisconsin, and the debate was, what's the best way to offensive rebound? And is it the swim technique? Is it spin? What is it? Is it tip it and go get it? And the bottom line is the coaches decided at that point in time, and I'm in college, I'm trying to figure out, maybe I want to coach someday. I should listen to all these people who have won multiple state championships. What is the best way to offensive rebound? And the consensus was want the ball. And I think JJ's someone who is so quick, but she really wants the ball and she finds a way to go pursue it. And, now again, there's give and take with that because we want her to offensive rebound, but we also want her to set our transition defense at the same time. And so balancing those together. And maybe that means that we have to look at putting her in a position where she gets more rebounds and is in a different spot in our transition defense because it is something that is really hard. It's hard to keep her off the glass.
Anything else for Coach?
Yeah, just curious, have you been paying attention to any of the other scores in the league, what some of the other teams have been doing? Or you've been more focused on your team?
Well, a little bit of both, and certainly have been a lot more focused on us than watching. I haven't watched a lot of other games, but seeing have watched a few of them in our conference, obviously is performing at a really, really high level at this point in time. And so, it's something we've got to really continue to get better so that we are ready for that when that happens at the end of the month. Of December. We're not in December yet, are we? We're not quite there. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Okay. Just don't want to skip ahead. But I feel like I just did. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.